What's going on? This is Out of Sports with another top 5 WWE video. And this time it's going to be the top 5 best WWE champions. This is like 1998 and present. Nothing before that. And number 5 is going to be Triple H. And this was pretty easy to put him in number 5. Triple H is like, I think, a 9-time WWE champion. I'm not sure about like all 9 of his reigns, but I could vouch for a few. Most of his reigns are really good. I think about the one in 2008 when he was a face. He was on Raw and he was facing Randy Orton and John Cena, and he went on to SmackDown to face Jeff Hardy and Edge and all those guys. And that was like really entertaining. And then of course he had the run in 2002 right after WrestleMania when he beat Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. Wasn't that long, but and then during the Attitude Era, of course, he had it a lot of times. Had it during WrestleMania 2000, where he was the first heel to retain the title. It was the first heel to win in the main event of WrestleMania. So that's a cool accolade to have. And yeah, Triple H is overall great WWE champion, one of the greatest of all time. Number 4, greatest WWE champion, I'd have to go with AJ Styles. He's a 2-time WWE champion, and both times when he had the championship, I can't complain about anything that he did, honestly. He came on the scene in 2016, and 9 months into his run, he beat Dean Ambrose for the title, and he feuded with Dean and John Cena, and then turned into a feud with Dean, and then he ended up losing it to John Cena at the Royal Rumble. But every single week on SmackDown, every pay-per-view, he was having the best match. AJ Styles, man, he's just one of the greatest of all time, honestly. But yeah, and then his second WWE Championship reign when he beat Jinder Mahal. He had the great feud with Daniel Bryan, which led up to him losing the title. But my favorite rivalry he had was probably the Samoa Joe one in the summer. I was just really into that. I like Samoa Joe. I like AJ Styles. I used to watch him in TNA. And I thought that was a really good feud. And I hope that he wins one more time before he retires. I could see him winning it one more time as a heel. Because, I think he deserves at least to be a 3-time champ. But he's already in the top 5, in my opinion. Number 3 on that list, this is where it got hard. I knew what 3 would be in the top 3. I just didn't know in what order. And number 3, I'm going to go with The Rock. Because, you can't deny he was a great champion. He won it 8 times. Maybe his last reign, in the 2013, maybe that wasn't that good. But, you look at all the other reigns he had. You look at that one he had in 2000 where he had it for like 5 months, something like that. And that didn't really happen like back in the Attitude Era because the titles just flip-flopped so hard back then. But he was able to hold on to that shit for a while. And then you think about the feud he had with Mick Foley where they traded the title a few times. And then, of course, him and Stone Cold. You can't forget about that. But, yeah. And then he had his 2002 run where he ended up losing to Brock Lesnar. And that was Brock Lesnar's first WWE championship. It's the only match they ever had, Brock Lesnar versus The Rock at SummerSlam 2002. Really good match, But that's The Rock, man. One of the greatest. And he's the 3rd best WWE champion, in my opinion. As for the 2nd best WWE champion, in my opinion, I just mentioned him, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was the biggest thing in all of WWE and all of wrestling, in the late 90s, early 2000s. He was just the man. And every time he had the championship, it was just like of course, Because why wouldn't he have the championship? He needed it. He was, you know, he was the man, top guy. And he had the feud with Kane. That was really good. Had the Undertaker feuds. Really like those. The Ministry of Darkness. When he was doing all that. And then later on, 2001, when he had it that was his longest reign. He had it for about 6 months, something like that. But that was during his heel run. A lot of people don't like that when he was a heel. I kind of like it. You know, it was pretty good for what it was. But yeah, man, Stone Cold, second best WWE champion. That's just my opinion. But he's had plenty of good feuds with plenty of people. You can't deny that he would be in top 5 though. But number 1, the best WWE champion of all time, in my opinion, is John Cena. And that one was easy for me, honestly, because I just knew, you know, he's just the greatest, bro. Honestly, he's won it more than anybody. You know, I think he's a 13-time WWE champion, something like that. Yeah, he's like a 13-time WWE champion. You know, you could go back to his first reign when he beat JBL and he had it for 280 days. You can go into 06 to 07 when he had it for a whole year. You could even look in 09 and 2010. Those reigns were pretty good. You got the 2013, right? I mean, he's just had it so many different times, you know. My favorite reign from him probably would be his third one, when he had it for over a year. That was, you know, the feud with Shawn Michaels and Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, and even the great Khali, you know, and Umaga. That's a bright spot, in my opinion, of John Cena's career. Big bright spot. I just really like that whole era. But yeah, man, I just think John Cena, man, is not a person that was better as WWE champion, in my opinion. You know, you got guys like Stone Cold, you know, The Rock, like all these other people. And you even got guys not on the list like Randy Orton. But, you know, I don't know, man. I just think John Cena is untouchable in this field. So, yeah, John Cena, best WWE champion. And that was the top 5 WWE champions of all time.